Good evening, everyone. Welcome. I'm Sheena Geiger from Misi Fee, and I will be your host this evening. Tonight, we're diving into the world of our selected filmmakers, writers, and other members of crew, and gain some insight and get on that plane of creativity and their inspiration. But before we dip into that world, let's take a look at the latest news in the sci-fi box office tonight. So the latest installment in the 28 Days Later universe, 28 years later, the Bone Temple has crossed $46 million worldwide, officially surpassing the lifetime box office total of Joss Whedon's Serenity. We follow up, that is the follow up to Firefly. Despite that milestone, the Bone Temple is still performing below expectations, falling short of its reported $63 million budget. The film continues to, the film continues the long running franchise, but has seen a softer turnout than last year's 28 years later. Industry analysts say the film's performance highlights just how unpredictable the sci fi landscape has become, even for established franchises with built in fan bases. For now, the Bone Temple holds a unique distinction and underperformer that still managed to outpace a beloved cult classic. So, question: which film do you think deserved better at the box office? Was it Serenity or the Bone Temple? I don't know yet. What do you think studios should prioritize right now? The sequels to established franchises or bold new sci fi originals? Let me know what you think. Now, on to the good stuff. On to the good stuff. So, I have some visitors here tonight. I would love to introduce our filmmakers and our screenplay writers who really and truly has inspired us to make quite a big shift with the festival this year. So, we're hoping to see plenty of people asking questions about our filmmakers. So, let me introduce Walter.
Hey everyone.
How are you, Walter?
Great. Nice to be here.
Awesome. We love having you here. So just, to introduce yourself and let our audience know who you are and what your screenplay is about. It would be the Godhood, right?
Yeah, correct. Godhood. Yeah, I'm from Panama. This story I've been writing it since I was in high school. I'm 37, but it's been growing with me. So I took it serious a couple of years ago, and it's a story that it's about God and the mix of science and religion to make this taboo coherent and mix all the basics of all mythologies together. And it was like a self exploration for myself, also for what could be the fear of the absolute truth and stuff like that.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to read the description a little bit.
Sure.
I'm going to try to do it like Troy does. I don't think I can, but let me give it a try. Godhood is a sci-fi dark fantasy epic about Raiko, an exiled, wooden-skinned god seeking acceptance and purpose. He teams up with Higgs, a skeptical scientist, to uncover his origins and confront a menacing resurgence that threatens the delicate balance between gods and mankind, where secrecy and fear conceal the absolute truth. All right, that is fantastic. I think
you did great.
I fudged up a little bit. All right, so I'm going to bring on Craig. Hi, Craig.
Hello.
And I believe you wrote Haven?
That's right, I wrote Haven, yeah.
All right. And what can you tell us, just to introduce yourself to our audience as well?
I split my time between living in South Korea and Canada. There's currently about 750 feet of snow outside because Eastern North America is in an icebox. It's fantastic. I love science fiction. I always have for my entire life. You name it, I've read it. I didn't actually like everything, mind you. But I've read quite a bit, and I'll read. And I'm a junkie, so if there's a crappy sci-fi movie or possibly something vaguely related, you can trust that you're going to get at least one movie ticket sold.
Oh my goodness. Absolutely. So talk to me a little bit about Haven.
So when I was 12, I imagined, I was thinking, everyone was talking about AI, and this is going back some time. I'm 50, so it's a few years ago, about AI. And I thought, what would happen if you turned off the computer? Is it murder? And I obsessed over that till I was about 15 years old. I thought about it, forever. So the idea of AI sort of always gripped me. So what I pulled together a lot of different strings, but fundamentally, any story about artificial intelligence is ultimately a story about people, because at the very core of it, stories are about people. We're interested in other people. We're monkeys, and we're watching each other socialize. That's what we want to do. So we access people and these and other minds, other people, through these things that we construct, plots, stories, whatever. But whether it's the Epic of Gilgamesh or stories of Greek gods or mythology or Star Wars, it's all about people. It's the characters that we care about. So when I was writing about AI, I wanted to write about people, AI as a kind of people, but not exactly people. What would it do to us to live in a society with AI? And what about people who didn't like it? How would they cope with it? So the main character, Derek, he has to he's a refusenik, but he's also he hunts relics, old relics from the before time when humanity wasn't suffering from AI. Wow. And so of course he's then pressed into trying to save AI, because AI is being enslaved and being used as tools. So to save these personalities, the man who hates AI, of course, is going to end up running the smuggling ring that actually saves them. So all of this is about the characters involved. I mean, it's the story. You can say whatever you want about the story, but it's the characters that matter. Okay. So, and that includes the AI. I know. So I think fundamentally, when you get right down to it, science fiction, while it's about ideas, it's about leveraging ideas to tell us about ourselves and to tell us about other people. Mm-hmm. And that's the best sci-fi, I think.
So it's mostly like character development within the screenplay.
Well, there's character development within this. Sure. So there's lots of character development, but it's the idea that the character shouldn't serve the plot and the idea. That's a very Arthur C. Clarke kind of thing. Arthur C. Clarke was always about the idea, and was never. And it's like the very pale characters, cardboard at best. Good sci-fi though, the stuff that really that chomps down. Dune was not particularly well written as a novel, or certainly the sequels, but it's an incredibly compelling story because of the people as well as the ideas. The ideas serve the people and not the other way around. Mm-hmm. So that's the sort of the mindset that I use.
Okay, awesome. So I have a couple questions for Walter.
All right.
So what first inspired the idea of Raiko, the Exile?
The Exile God.
Mm-hmm.
The whole idea, the hero's journey. I wanted to do a little flip on it. He has a master called Enlil, and he is a god that grew on Earth. My characters, these gods, they're mortal. They don't live forever. And they were born out of a fruit in this story. So the whole mystery about him is that his fruit grew on Earth, and there was one god that found him and taught him how to behave and everything. So he's a character that has no purpose confirmed for him, acceptance from others. He's trying to know who he is, and on Earth he has. Since they grow from a fruit, they have this wooden skin. So they look different. And he's agile. He's everything that his master hoped for him to be. But you know, the little flip that I'm doing to the whole master thing is to be very manipulative, because when you see characters like Obi-Wan, Morpheus, Dumbledore, they tell the hero that they have a purpose. Even Morpheus, I think, and but they don't tell the whole truth. And there are little details that they hide, like for Obi-Wan, for example, he didn't tell Anakin Luke that he had to kill his father, stuff like that that they keep hidden. And I take this whole thing to Enlil and enhance it and be honest about it. And then when the other gods try to find him, they also have their own agendas. So he's trying to fit somewhere, and Higgs is the other protagonist. She's someone that doesn't trust anyone. You know, science as a whole, it's doubting the information until it's confirmed otherwise. And so she represents science itself. You know, she doesn't even trust her own family. So she doesn't trust no one. He's trying to find somewhere to fit, and they kind of match with each other as a hero's journey together. It's a multi-protagonist somehow too, but also like the story is as good as the villain, and that's the thing I really pushed it with the antagonist. So for Raiko, his journey to find his destination is more about knowing why he grew on Earth, who put him there, what is his purpose, and it's a very interesting path, you know, as a thriller. And the whole thing, I like to get inspired by stories like Lovecraft and A Song of Ice and Fire. They talk about the human heart and the conflict with itself. So it's not about being black and white, the hero and the villain. There's heroes that make hard mistakes that many people die because of it, or they are villains that are merciful. So that's the way I'm playing it, so that people can decide who they're rooting for, honestly. And it's a fun journey.
So we pick sides.
Yeah, pick sides.
All right. So with the whole like godhood explores secrecy and fear and the tension between divine beings and mankind or humanity.
Imagine. Sorry, your question was?
Well, what themes were most important for you to highlight this?
Fear.
Fear.
Fear. You know, fear. I used it for each character as a how does someone react to fear? Some people runs from it, confronts it, accepts it, manipulate it, and so that's just one word for each character I use differently, and that's how I flesh them out. You know.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
And that was fun because then Hurukan is the Lord of Fear. You know, in my story, gods they worship the tree of life where they're born out from. They didn't question life and death. You know, they believe in reincarnation, and he was the first one that questioned the origins of the living and the dead. And so he's like, you know, in our stories, what happened first in medicine, the people that opens the bodies and ask where we really come from, the real doctors, you know. And it's sad to say, but in moments of war and where morals, it's like rock bottom, that's when medicine grows the fastest. And so I highlight that with this character, you know, he has a different sort of morality and purpose, and he broke the cycle. He created immortality. He created mankind. He saved the other gods from extinction. He did many things, but he did it in such a way that on his way, you know, there's no other way. It's like in Hogwarts, Voldemort is the leader, you know. How do you work that out? It's like the heroes here are some sort of like a Illuminati, a hidden group that they're trying to overthrow the whole thing. So it's a very complex story. I mix planet Earth and their planet too. So it makes science and religion, as in like the whole thing of the flood, the evolution, the Big Bang, the forbidden fruit, the Wood of Power. All of them have like different religions that they come out from, but I don't specify like Christianism, Judaism, or Muslims or anything. I just like bring the main sources that connect them all, and
Okay. So there's just one.
right
Yeah.
elements.
I like that. I like that. All right. So I mean, just off the record, would it if you were to produce this, would it be animated or would it be
Right.
or it would be animated?
I spoke in Japan. I went there to the Anime Expo. I met with the guys that work with Namco Bandai for video games. But then they guide me around. I ended up meeting Miss Eiko Tanaka. She's the lead animator in the studio called Totoro. Studio, sorry, in the studio. Sorry, in the Studio 4C. That's the studio that made the trilogy from Berserk, Animatrix, Batman, Gotham Knight. But they do movies, animated movies. So they asked for a feature script. And so my story, I thought about it as a serialization. So when I decided to have the script ready, the screenplay, I decided to apply in both pilot and feature to see which one answers better. And so I'm in this phase of like measuring the script, how does it stand with the crowd. I share it with editors that are I found the devil's advocate of screenplays, like people that will be very honest about it.
That's cool.
And make big changes and stories in stories you got gardeners or you got architects, and in that sense, like people that plan out everything from the beginning, or you do the world building as like improv, and I'm a little bit of both. And so when I find this new idea that clashes with everything, you have like tailored. You have to like decide and do changes, but that's a cool thing because then you're polishing carbon to diamond.
Nice. Yes, this is true. Development is important.
Right. Exactly.
All right. So, Craig.
Yes.
I did not read your description. So for Haven, all right, here we go. Here, I'm going to try this again. In an integrated AI human future, a vintage relic smuggler and dissident who hates artificial intelligence turns his relic smuggling ring into an underground railroad to save AI beings from an international network of personality traffickers. All right. So we kind of got the idea how you got your inspiration. Do you kill your computer when you turn it off?
Well, that's just that I was 12. I mean, I had a simple questions for a 12-year-old, right? It was like distilled down to a point. It is an AI that is, for all intents and purposes, humanish. Is it human? What's the question even mean at that point? So, yeah. So let's pretend we know the answers and sort of go look for them, kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay, so your protagonist undergoes a major moral shift. What was most important to you in portraying his transformation?
It had to feel authentic. So as he goes through the change, there's several. He's initially quite hostile, and he's sort of roped in for side reasons, and he resists each of the sort of the turnings that sort of drags him along. He resists each one until finally the contradictions and hypocrisy of his own position he can't tolerate anymore. And it's sort of like, as your system sort of snaps, it has to find another stable state, and this one's no longer working, so it snaps to the other one, and he finally makes a moral adjustment, and he says, okay, yeah, well, I mean, to sum up, it's sort of, yeah, they're people. Yeah, I'm not going to let this happen.
Yeah.
And so he makes this decision. So we've gone through that kind of switch before. I'm modeling it. It's not like it's a surprise. I mean, the same thing happened with slavery, for example. At one point, it was, perfectly acceptable to view humans as tools. So citizens, non-citizens, women, the landless, people who can't read, at some point, I imagine we could do the same thing with primates and say, hey, maybe we probably shouldn't experiment on chimpanzees. They're kind of human-y.
Yeah.
You wouldn't do live vivisection on a dog. I hope. Anyway, I hope no one's doing that. I'm going to cross my fingers here. No one's cutting up dogs, and keeping them alive while they do it. Yeah. So sort of that sort of thing. So it's sort of that moral switch. It's not automatic. I mean, it's not something that we would. I mean, we think about it as sort of like a steady state, but it's not. So this is also another way of looking at that, for example. So I mean, the ultimate philosophical question could be used to, I mean, the question is the other. How do we deal with the other? If we encountered an alien, wouldn't we decide that it deserves to live too? Or, it's like Avatar, like at one point, do we make this? I mean, that's really simplistic, but, at what point does a being that is not us or me, at what point does that being deserve or acquire or accrue empathy?
Yeah.
So I think it's sort of like and you can see that with animals. The animals make the same decision too. Like our cat would say, you're part of my family now, therefore I love you, or at least I rub up against you and I don't try to kill you. But with someone else who comes in the house, I don't know. The cat could have a very different opinion. It's like, nope, you're a monster, and I'm going to treat you like one. So I mean, so we all come to these sort of different solutions at different times, right? So this is it's one of those. It's not a small question. It's actually a very large question. And I just try to answer it in a very specific way with current sort of issues.
Okay, well, in relation to that, it did have that Underground Railroad tone. So, how did you balance the gritty Underground Railroad tone with the high tech elements of the AI driven?
So this is what the wonderful thing about imagining futures. You can just sort of, take on the graph, you can just sort of extend the curve out. So imagine that the future has very few people. So you've got lots of empty cities. You've got lots of high technology, but it's all concentrated in certain places. And then, of course, the other places, there's not so much. It's actually pretty realistic, actually. Mm-hmm. And in this future, the grittiness is part of the reality. I mean, there's a sort of future past that's already happened, which has its ugly bits, and people are sort of living with the consequences of the ugly bits, and division. So when I write, I tend to lean really hard into the messy, dirty. I don't believe in pulling your punches. I think like if it's in sci-fi terms, I don't believe in sort of smoothing things out to make it nice for the largest possible audience. My visions are usually like, well, the story wants to go here, just take that nail and just hammer that nail right into the wall and put it in as far as you can. So the dirty elements, like the underground, the sort of the mental conditioning factory they have for AI, the torture place. It's not, just don't spare any. Why are you sparing people's sentiments? Why would you do that? I mean, you're trying to build stakes in the story. So I think you'll see that it's true with a lot of sci-fi that really gets respect from an audience tends to be sci-fi that doesn't pull a lot of punches. The moment you start pulling punches, you can feel it. Yeah.
Okay. So now, what were you hoping the audience would take away from your story? Like distrust of technology, redemption, or
no? Actually, not at all. In this world, AI is actually not. It's neither a tool nor a threat, but it's also both of those things. So in the same way that other people are. So it's actually kind of a unique take on AI. So there's no Terminator, and there's no ChatGPT. Yeah, right. So and AI is not exactly as predicted. I mean, the AI is a little bit religious. It's a little, the AI is reasonable, but it's I thought quite clever. But it's not it didn't turn out exactly the way humans thought it would turn out. It has its own imperatives and thought processes and evolution, and so, but not necessarily negative. But what I didn't try to do was answer all the questions for people. So
Okay.
the trick was to see to it that that I wasn't telling people what to think or wasn't passing judgment. Characters could make decisions; they could be good or bad. Consequences would fall, but that doesn't mean what the antagonist. So the interesting thing is the antagonist. The antagonist is an AI. They don't know he's an AI. He's got a human body avatar that he sort of controls, and they think he's a fellow collector, just like the protagonist. But in fact, he's trying to commit genocide of AI.
Mm.
He loves humanity. So he's a very old AI, one of the first. He loves humanity so much that unlike his brothers and sisters, there's the few other old AIs, all of them have different agendas, like ancient Greek gods manipulating people on the sidelines because they have no actual power, but they're using pushing chess pieces around. He decides that they've committed a terrible sin and that he has to eliminate AI to save humanity, the people and civilization that he loves in all its ugliness and perfect naturalness.
Mm-hmm.
So of course they don't know that, and by the end the protagonist who hated AI is now unwittingly helping an AI who loves humans and therefore wants to kill AI to destroy AI. And so then he has to turn on him, and at the end they reconcile before one of them dies, the antagonist dies.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sort of this, is he a bad guy? In a way, he's kind of, in another story, the antagonist would be the hero. And that's exactly how he views himself. And he's acting out of love.
Mm-hmm.
So the question, this is one of those things, I'm trying really hard not to answer the question.
Yeah.
And just sort of, here, I'll just put it's sort of like you take this sort of squiggly little thing and you just put it in the middle of the table, and then you sit back and you let the audience say, I'm just going to put this here. Enjoy. Yeah. And then it's like, it says you guys decide what you want to do.
Don't reveal too much, trust me. But we definitely, I don't want it to say it's not that type of Terminator thing. No, it's not.
Right.
But I get where your mind is set is at, because in this reality, I guess there is no good or bad, because it's people making these decisions where, okay, I think this is unethical, and no, I don't think this is unethical.
Sure.
So I don't want to say too much.
I mean, look, you can look out, just go look outside right now, just take a trip to Minnesota or anywhere else in the world for that matter, and you see people, everyone thinks they're the hero, and everyone thinks that they're being very logical, and we all suffer from consequences. And the truth is there's costs, and there's side effects of everything we do. So it's very important that we actually sort of, like I said, you just take it there, and it's like a jello mold, and it's squiggling and moving around, and you just put it on the table, and hey people, go for it. So long as the characters go through this, go through their compelling arc there, and each one sort of in a different way, then at the end you sort of come to it. Okay. I would hope that people come to different conclusions.
I would hope so too. I'm kind of neutral right now. All right. So, do you guys want to see some clips? All right. Before I do you have questions for me?
Yeah, sorry, I was silent for a second. Got the internet with problems.
I figured. I'm no. Sorry.
Also, I love are you actually orbiting in space from space somewhere? Because I like the background. It's really good.
Yeah. This is the glowing space. This is my space station.
Yeah, it's good. I like it.
I'm waiting for my NASA hat, man. I need my hat.
Back in the day, back in like the 80s and 90s, there was this kooky show on TV where they would have like, two guys debating science fiction movies and going over like B movies, and it was set against this obviously sort of ridiculous background that was like green screen of the space station, and you'd watch it and it would be on at like 3:00 in the morning or something. And that was back in the thing before internet and stuff. And I always watched it, so I just getting that vibe from you, very retro vibe from you over there.
I love the retro. If it's anything sci-fi retro, I'm in it. So, all right, let me Let me play this really cool one for like 31 seconds. Yeah,
Wow, that was
was fun.
fantastic. That's
That was
spectacular.
fun. All right, so stop watching me. That's basically what it is.
Mm.
All right, let me see.
It's a Japanese production.
Is it what now?
Is it a Japanese production?
It's Chinese.
China.
It's really good.
Oh.
That was a great 31 seconds. That was very good.
Her movements were on point, and not AI.
Внимание, капитан.
Come on, Shannon. Why don't you join me for dinner?
You know why?
Get rid of that uniform. Labour is in their blood, it is not in ours.
And if I don't?
You'll no longer be welcome in our family. It'll be as if you were never born.
Двигатель Кеплера вышел из строя.
We've got to move.
This is a sad world for a lot of people, Joan, but it doesn't have to be. Traumatic experiences often lead to what we call negative underlying beliefs.
Do you feel disconnected and lack meaningful relationships?
Whatever you're going through, you've come to the right place.
Is self-doubt crippling you?
I've had patients exhaust themselves trying to find the right medication or waste years in therapy when this procedure can change their lives in an instant.
So it really works.
Every morning, I wake up smiling.
I'm just afraid I'll become a completely different person.
I'm ready for you.
That was Noob.
The first one gave me the Space Odyssey vibe.
Yeah, that was Eximo. That was in Spanish. If
It
we
was
could get that one translated, that would be great. But it's actually a pretty good premise on that story. And they did use AI on that one, so we have a mix. But
Where were kids?
Ooh, all right. So we actually went over time, but I wanted to thank you guys for coming on here. Are you coming to the festival?
I would love to, but apparently the snow is so beautiful and sparkly that I can't really leave the snow. It's calling to me. It's calling to me. Yeah.
Is it?
Or something. I don't know. Yeah. It's or something. Yeah.
Poor soul. I mean, I'm sorry.
Unless you guys have snow down there in Miami. I mean, I know we got a lot of it this year, so maybe some of it got down there. No.
If we have some sort of icy precipitation, that it would just vaporize like poof. There's no way it's gonna hit the ground. Probably.
You guys are just a little closer to the surface of the sun. What can we say? That's just how it is.
Yeah, I went jet skiing over the weekends, and everybody's buried in the snow. Everybody.
Well, now you're just laughing. Thanks. And Walter, you're in Panama.
Yeah, I'm in Panama. A bit far. I can take a flight there, but right now my other real job it's summer, and so I gotta stay here on duty. My real work is hotel management, so this
Mm.
whole thing it's a side job that took years.
Ah, nice. Well, law industry, legal
You're
industry.
right, but it's a fun industry. I mean, something that I really took by heart was to have plan B financing plan A. You know, if
Mhm.
plan A, which is my story, my passion, doesn't work, plan B was already working. So I
Well,
think
keep
that's
doing
a
this.
healthy move.
Keep doing this. Keep doing this. Plus the
I
healthy
want
move.
to. If the whole thing works, the whole script, it's 1/4 of the entire saga. And that I
Oh,
already have the entire outline of it already written.
oh my
It,
gosh. Well, we are looking forward to that. I hope you submit that for the
isn't it
next.
crazy? Isn't it crazy how we can just conjure, if you imagine it,
It is, isn't it?
we can sit here and conjure realities into existence, and then if by hook or by crook, if we can somehow sort of hornswoggle someone else into
It is.
helping
Yeah.
us make them real, then
It
we
is the
invite other
real.
people into our minds. It's kind of very exciting. Yeah.
It always
The
starts.
funnest part is to hear other people's perspective about, they're reading some part and they're saying, oh, that symbolizes this. And it was not my intention, but it's just how other people perceives it. So
Mhm.
it's interesting to see like who's their favorite main character,
Well,
Yeah.
it's like things are written 4 times. First, you write it, then the actors interpret it, and the director, of course, and then
Right.
the editor gets to it, and it's like, oh yeah, all of that stuff. Yeah, I'm just throwing it away, and then we're gonna redo it again. And then there's the 4th time, of course, and the 4th time is like for A, for B, for C, to infinity, because it's all the audience, and the audience just
Yeah.
decides, well, that
Yeah.
was very nice, but that doesn't mean what it says, because it means this.
Right.
Yeah. How dare you kill that character? That was I identified with that character. You suck. I don't like any of your stuff anymore.
It's okay.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
We can get it.
All the YouTube videos of people analyzing all the meanings and hidden gems. That's the whenever I see a video on YouTube talking about it, doing this deep theory analysis, I can die in peace. That's that's already peak.
Hey, look, some of us. I mean, just by statistical chance, some of us have to end up on the syllabus of some university course 30 years from now. It's just like a random chance that some of us will write the next Blade Runner that no one likes for 20 years, and then that ends up being the core of a university teaching program, and long after we're dead and can't benefit, and
You
whatever.
never know.
Yeah, of course.
You never know.
Some of us has to be true of some of us. So it could be someone here, or not, or not.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
not? All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. I really enjoyed talking about your screenplays and the story behind it, on your inspirations, and how you create your stories. So, just so
A
you know,
pleasure.
you can also share this video. It will be on the MISI website, or Miami Sci-Fi website. I believe it's in your email. The link is in your email, so you'll see yourself on there. You can share it with others.
One more thing, if you're actually in Miami, I have a short in there too. It's called "While Some Sleep," and it's also about totally coincident. I don't just write about AI, but it's about AI as well. It's about a guy with an AI friend. Oh, look, yeah, I know it sounds like everything is about AI, but it's not. It's just these two things.
I mean, that is what's trending now. So
right.
We're not hating. We're not hating.
Sure.
All right, guys.
The next
Thank you so
consciousness.
much. What's that?
No, that AI is the next consciousness.
Yeah.
Sure.
Believe it or not.
Yeah.
Believe it or not. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you. I wish you would be at the festival, but we'll do something virtual and send that to you your way. So
send us some of your weather when you're
I'll send you a whole map.
I believe Amazon delivers, almost anything. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'll give you a jar of sand and shells. All right, guys. Well, take care.
Thank you, Sheena and Craig.
Have a good one.
Nice to meet you, Walter. Ciao.
You too. Have a good one.